You see now why I strictly forbid the boy from visiting here without supervision. Only then do I notice Avery standing in the doorway behind Lucius, but I don't pay any attention to him. All there is right now is Lucius, hatred and fury in his gaze. I'm sorry, Lucius, Avery says. I did not know you would be so adverse to the idea. Well, now you know, Lucius says without even moving his lips. He stares at me for a long, agonizing moment before he raises his wand, but is not pointed at me. Crucio! Ron screams out and falls. Sorry. He's not even allowed to hurt him, and he's just like, no, fucking kiss my woman, and I'm gonna punch you in the mouth, but I can't do that, so I'm just gonna Crucio the fucking shit out of you. I love this book. Ron screams out, oh my gosh, am I over 15 minutes? Ah, by 10 seconds! Oh my god. Whatever, I'll just keep the whole thing. I automatically fall with him, trying to cradle him in my arms, but I just can't because he's kicking out frantically, clawing the air and screaming as he bucks and writhes in sheer agony. I look up at Lucius, screaming desperately, please, please, I'm begging you, please. But he's not listening. He's staring down at Ron with a rage and hatred that's subhuman, primal. His eyes are lit up as Ron screams and wails on the floor. I look down at Ron, helpless, trying to hold him, but I can't. Blood starts to bubble out of his nose, and his face goes green as his eyes roll in the back of his head, and then the screaming stops. Ron lies very still on the ground, the blood still streaming out of his nose, and his eyes close as his chest rise and fall. Ron! I scream, shaking him. Ron, wake up! Relentless fingers clamp on my wrist and draw my hands away from my friend before Lucius crouched down next to him, placing his fingers lightly on Ron's pulse point. He's alive. He murmurs, standing up. Take him back to his room, Avery, and never, ever allow him in here without my supervision. Of course, Lucius. But, forgive me, are we not forbidden from harming the boy? Lucius breathes a little bitter laugh. He's alive, isn't he? Now get him out of my sight. Avery looks at Lucius for a few moments before he shrugs and magically levitates Ron, taking him out of the room with him and shutting the door behind him. Now it's just me and Lucius, alone, again. He stares at me long and hard. I just stare back at him, my mouth open and closing stupidly as I desperately try to think of what to say. The fury and hatred behind that curse must have been terrible if the force had made Ron pass out so quickly. I want to kill him for that. His mouth spins out. I have a confession. I have to confess myself disappointed in that. He says quietly, coldly. I know that you are so far down on the social scale that you barely even count as a human being. But I warrant you with more intelligence than that. He runs his eyes over me, his lips curling up in disgust. I glare at him. Why? Is all I say. Why what? Why did you torture him? I asked furiously. I begged you. Bastard, I begged you not to do it. Do you remember the last time I begged you for something, Lucius? And of course he remembers. He recoils slightly, sucking in his breath. But then he replies. He doesn't give me any answer to my question. Tell me. I swear to God, they say it every other chapter. What exactly is it that Weasley has to offer you? My cheeks burn. What right has he to ask this to me? It's got nothing to do with you, I say defiantly. He opens his mouth as if he's going to say something, but then he closes it again. He looks as if he's going to snap. He steps closer to me. After all I've done for you, I would say That has everything to do with me. He mutters venomously. I feel myself shatter into a million pieces. After everything you've done for me? I ask, my voice raising hysterically. Yes, I owe you so much, don't I? Don't you remember breaking my fingers before crushing them under your boot? Do you remember imbuing me into cutting my own best friend's thumb off? Do you remember murdering my parents, Lucius? Do you? He reaches up, and his fingers close around my throat, half digging me. He half drags me across the room and pins me against the stone wall, his fingers digging into my skin for long moments. I stare desperately up into his face. His eyes are ice chips of cold, hard rage. He takes a few deep breaths before he releases my throat and I can breathe again, having to make an effort not to gag on the sudden intake of air. I had my reasons for that, he whispers. The words pushed me over the edge again. I know that, believe me. I know all about your reasons for killing my parents. I kiss up into his face and I see some color leave his skin. Voldemort told me. You want me to believe that you were just following orders, but really you killed them so that Voldemort wouldn't kill me. To get to Harry, you know, I know all about it. There's a long silence while my words buzz in the air around us, making everything worse. But I just don't care. I stare at him for a long, agonizing moment, and I feel as if there's no air left in the world as I'm pulling into the depths of his eyes. You presumptuous little bitch, he whispers. You have no idea. My reasons were for killing your parents. I could hardly let you be killed. You could still be a use to get to Potter. Dark Lord momentarily absorbed your importance in his rage. I simply reminded him of it, which he remains grateful. And look at him, up at him incredulously. Was not caring about anything anymore. There's no way this situation could get any worse. So there's absolutely no point in keeping quiet. So that's why you just flipped when you saw Ron and me, is it? I say quietly. Tell me, do you genuinely believe the reasons you always give me for your behavior towards me? His nostrils flare. Your arrogance is overwhelming, he mutters venomously. Is that what has led you to go to my room last night, claiming that you have seen something in me that you want so desperately to keep hidden from you? How dare you presume that I should have any feelings for you other than revulsion? He breathes out a jokeless laugh. It's pathetic. Do you hear me? I despise you. Anger shoots up at me from the pit of my stomach, sending electricity pounding through my veins. Is that why you woke me up one night to find me trailing your fingers down my back? My voice is raising hysterically. I want to hurt him. I want him to bleed and scream and cry. Is that why you kissed me after we murdered Dolof together? Don't you tell me that I mean nothing to you, because I don't believe it anymore. I don't believe you anymore. It kills you that you can't have me, Lucius. You know that it does. Why don't you stop being such a coward and stop trying to push me away? What's stopping you from taking what you want, apart from my filthy blood? He draws back his hand as if he's about to slap me, his face suffused in anger, but he lowers it after a few moments, struggling to keep his breathing calm. And it enrages me. Well, go on then, I shout. Hit me, you coward! Push me away, that's what you want, isn't it? Hit me! I throw my hand up and slap him hard across the face. Damn. Sorry. I'm like, damn. It's not gonna work as well as we want. I'm okay. He looks at me, his face hard with rage as his cheek. Oh my god, she got a face, she got his face all red. Okay, blooms pink with the blow, before he draws his hand back and slaps me again. Okay. And this time he actually does it. Again and again. It hurts so badly that I don't care. I need him to hurt me. I need him to acknowledge how he feels, even if it's by proving me that he's caused me pain beyond all imagine. Even if by proving me right, there we go. He's causing me pain beyond all imagination. His hand laces in my hair and yanks my head back. Looking down into my face, I feel blood. Sorry, I just got a mental image of something else. I don't know. Not anything dirty. Don't worry. I just thoroughly made her. Never mind. I feel blood flowing out of my mouth and over my lips. All of my head aches. I look down into his face and the harsh breathing subsides. His hate for me is palpable. Your arrogance, he mutters, will be your downfall. His face hovers only inches above mine, his eyes huge and dark. You're one to talk, I whisper. You're the most arrogant person I know. His mouth twists. His mouth and it's his mouth twists for a moment up into what might almost be a smile. He pulls my head back further, the pain pulling tears up to my eyes. He brings his face closer to mine, closer. His mouth, it feels like only millimeters away from mine. His lips parted slightly and his mouth open too as he comes closer and closer. He hesitates before he unlaces his fingers from my hair, pushing me away from him furiously. Damn you! He hisses. Damn you! He turns and strides out of the room, slamming the door behind me and locking it behind him. I turn away from the door, pressing my fingers over my bleeding lips. I close my eyes and tears roll down my cheeks. I'm sick of everything. I'm sick of the hate. Sorry. I'm sick of everything. I'm sick of him hating me, while at the same time I know that he does care for me, even though he will never want him. I don't want to rely on him anymore. I'm sick of living at his mercy. I want to be free of it. Can't live with him feeding off of me. Ooh, that's a good thing. That's a good little. I can't live with him feeding off of me. Me feeding off of him feeding off of me feeding off of him. It's sick. It's I can't live with him feeding off of me feeding off of him. It's sick. Twisted. Not right. I don't want to live knowing that I went to him, hoping that if I confronted him. I don't want to live knowing that I went to him, hoping that if I confronted him about it, he would eventually do something about it. I will not let him win. If I want him back, then that means he's won, doesn't it? And he knows. So willing, so obedient. No, it will not happen. My heart leaps up in my stomach as I hear the door unlock behind me. Slowly swinging open. I hear the door unlock behind me, slowly swinging open. Oh, what now? I whisper. Haven't you had enough? I turn around, ready to face him, ready to shout and scream at him because I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. I freeze, fear crashing down on my ribs and pulling my heart up through my mouth. It isn't Lucius at the door.